This is the Carmel Chapel. This is where it all happened. This is where Thérèse entered, lived and died. This is where one of the holiest lives ever was lived out.
That door there is the door she entered into the Carmel, and she never came out again till she died. She kissed her father goodbye at the door there.
Saint Thérèse, in describing what she herself was all about, said, "I want to love, to be loved, and to make love loved. I'll be love in the heart of the church." Every one of us loves a good lover. Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus was born on January the 2nd, 1873. When Thérèse was 4, her mother died and the family of 5 children moved to Lisieux. Here she spent the next 10 years of her life, brought up in an atmosphere of love and affection. From an early age, she wanted to give herself to God. She was a sickly child, but when she was 10, she was cured through the intercession of Our Blessed Lady, Our Lady of the Smile. When she was 15, she entered the Carmelite convent in Lisieux and was given the name Thérèse of the Child Jesus of the Holy Face. She lived the life of a Carmelite nun with great simplicity and humility until her death on the 30th of September, 1897. We were delighted when we got the go-ahead for the tour on St. Patrick's Day, 1999. That gave us more than 2 years to prepare. Her relics have travelled the world extensively, and I followed the history of these tours in all of the countries, actually, where there have been so many powerful graces of healing of souls and bodies. If we seriously apply ourselves, our beloved Ireland should experience nothing less.
Hello. I'm the Thérèse Mobile Manager. My name is Pat Sweeney. I'm a retired regimental sergeant major from the Irish Army. This is a big challenge. You can see it's a Mercedes Sprinter. It has a 77 horsepower engine. A very, very sophisticated satellite alarm system is fitted to the vehicle. So I'll have 2 co-drivers in France, and we'll have a gendarme escort.
Now, Father Ryan, I'd just like to give you your security a ticket in case they mistake you for anybody else. So we can get that on, and
It's like my Olympic gold medal.
gold medal.
Yes.
And your national coordination.
Yes.
I've your passport and I've my own. Jim, you've yours. I have the tickets. I want the tickets, the one that I have a wallet there in the front with just the tickets for the ship going out, not the ones coming back.
Live line today, live from Lisieux, explaining, if we can, I don't know if you can, explaining but attempting to understand the phenomenon of St. Thérèse of Lisieux, which we're told when she comes to Ireland, the relics come to Ireland, will draw in total a bigger crowd than went to see the Pope in 1979.
The history of Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus of the Holy Face and the history of Ireland are in many respects similar.
Maybe there is no understanding in human terms of all that went on, but she entered the convent at the age of 15, just 100 yards from here, and died at the age of 24.
This is communicating on the level of the heart, and the heart has gone out of Catholicism in Ireland to a great degree, and the heart has gone out of Ireland.
Her Her statue is in every Irish church and has been for the last century.
An enormous amount of people contacted Liveline and spoke of their devotion to the little flower, Saint Thérèse, who died here about 100 yards from where I'm standing.
RTE radio in Ireland, so it was a broadcast to the nation. The reason why we're bringing the relics, I think the most important point is that we wanted to help individuals and groups by studying the life and teaching of Thérèse, because that's what the Holy Father wants around the world. In proclaiming her a doctor of the Church, he wants us to focus on her life and her spirituality.
Here, you do the mopping, bit of elbow grease. Jean-Michel, you check the windows, and I look at you. The Thérèse mobile now takes priority over all vehicles because it must be spotlessly clean at all times. Here.
It's inside.
Yeah. We want the car to look the best, only the best for Thérèse.
Thank you, Radio Notre Dame. Bye-bye now, thank you. Getting back to the interviewers, there were one or two who obviously were very well versed in the spirituality of Saint Thérèse. It was very pleasant to hear it. They're beginning to recognize the important contribution Thérèse may have to the problems of faith that a number of people seem to be having.
We are here now in the cemetery of Lisieux, where Saint Thérèse was interred after she died. My youngest sister, she'd be about 47, she was taken into James's Hospital with a massive heart attack. We were all sent for and we were told that she wouldn't last the night. I said a decade of the Rosary, and I asked Thérèse to intercede to the Lord that if it be his will, that she would be cured. And that was Friday night, and on Sunday evening she was up having a shower, and she's hale and hearty to this day. And I put that down to Thérèse. I really do.
Hello, how are you? Good morning. You well?
Well?
Yes, thank you. Very, very special. Okay.
Yeah.
This is where we now receive the relics of Saint Thérèse of Lisieux. And it's a very solemn occasion.
We're just about to get the handover of the relics to Father Ryan from Bishop Gaucher. It's an extremely heavy, 440 pounds weight. So we have to get our crew now and proceed.
Well, it is a very important moment. It's the culmination of a life's work. Thank you. Yeah, this one. Right, okay, well, I want to thank Thérèse and Belly, and to thank Merci, And merci to Bishop Gaucher. Thank you, and we'll look after St. Thérèse for you. And we hope that St. Thérèse will bring many graces to us in Ireland. It's Easter Day with a special difference, I suppose. In a short while we'll leave the boat where we've been hosted so well by the captain and crew with our beloved Thérèse. That is another reason for saying Alleluia on this day.
Are we getting closer?
We are, bit by bit. You see it way back in the distance. Good old Ireland.
We carry it to the ramp horse then?
No. We'll bring it down.
Yeah.
Straight into the lift. The Thérèse mobile is there. We put it into the Thérèse mobile. And we put it into the Thérèse mobile. The army come along then and they take it off. And we'll put it down. We're okay.
It's a little bit nervy, but the next 5 minutes now, if that goes well, we'll be very satisfied.
Welcome back. Everything went well.
Yes, very well.
Great.
Very well.
Wonderful.
Very
God bless.
well done, Linus.
Welcome back.
Yes, great. Great. Very well. Big day.
So you see the visit of the relics as completely logical and part of our mission?
I do indeed. Thérèse herself is coming to Ireland in a very, very special way.
I think perhaps that this pilgrimage reflected a kind of Ireland that I thought was gone. An island of coming together, an island of people joining one another in a way that they haven't done, I think, for a long time.
Big group there in the middle. Come up and make yourselves at home in the front. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. Many are called, and all are called.
I don't know now, I'm not an expert in her life, but I don't think she had any relics herself. She might have. She had, good. I'll just show you the Pope may be infallible, but the Bishop aren't. Thank God.
She said, when I come near the relics, I become holy.
You do, good man. Very quickly, I hope that as we go around the country, the homilies will be short, the prayers will be intense, and the love and the affection poured out to this lovely young woman is the thing that counts, not bishops preaching, but people loving. I was asked by the media, what are my expectations? I have none.
This van will travel the length and breadth of Ireland. I think it's something like 75 different venues.
I felt Thérèse had something very special to offer the world.
My sister is coming.
You're all very, very welcome here this evening to Mountjoy.
Great devotion, the little flower.
We can almost see the square in Kildare now.
I know there is something good going to happen. Wherever it is, there is something good going to take place.
But to those people who ask the question, what is in the box? Any adult asking a question, what is in the box, has already lost the plot.
Hello. Right, so it's all go.
But to try and get this van down that lane with that many people,
yeah,
and it's too dangerous.
That's fine. She's an inspiration to the real hardened sinner like myself, you know, who had lost everything.
Dublin would really stand out in my mind. I was widely impressed with the people, the young people. I reached my first sort of rebuff when I went to St. Teresa's Gardens. Now that was something else. That was amazing. They were all there, and I was quite nervous as I hadn't been exposed to inner city people. I'm not saying anything against them, but I was near them, and I was looking at this statue, not looking hard enough, and said to this nice old lady, I said, you know, that's a lovely statue of the Blessed Virgin. She said, oh, are you a foreigner? She said. I said, no, I'm from Cork. Same thing, she said. That's the little flower. That's our little flower. This is Teresa's Gardens, in case you didn't know it.
I've had 3 American popes, 3 American presidents, yeah. 2 popes, the Queen, most of the royal family, the Queen Mother, 5 times the Queen Mother. Yeah. But I'm a friend now with Judy, Barbara Windsor, Joan Collins. I know them all now.
I'm bringing these little twin girls to be blessed. It took me 6 years to have them, and this is my little way of bringing them back for blessing. And she was really sick last week, so there you go. So I'm here for all sorts of reasons.
I loved St. Teresa since I was a little girl in church in Donegal. There's a picture of her at the back of the altar, and I just thought she was beautiful. She just became like a friend to me. And I have pictures of her everywhere and pictures in the car, and she's just like my guardian angel. I just adore her.
Into the tour, and we've just come from Gortmurra, where there was fantastic crowds all day yesterday and all night, all during the night. As you can see, we suspect there's about 3,000 or 4,000 people here. We don't have many in the cathedral itself, and I think we're very close to nearly 500,000 people at the moment. So please God, we'll reach that magic 2 million.
And I hope that she will pull me through it and that something will be sorted out for me.
I pray to her every day and I love to get the relic.
I'm looking forward to seeing the little flower because where I come from, in Teresa's Gardens, that's where I was married 31 years ago, the St. Teresa in Dunnower. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the little flower. A miracle might happen for someone. It will, believe me. You have to have the faith.
It's very good because it's very
special for St. Teresa's Garden because she's named after her.
Take your time. Take your time, Sarah.
That a person who had about 6 people at her funeral in 1897 would have this crowd all over the world. But the most wonderful of all is that she actually was received in Moscow, I think, with guard, guard of honour, under the statue of Lenin.
I want to ask you about St. Thérèse. What do you know about her?
She was a very good person and she loved everyone.
That's lovely. That about sums it up. She what?
She cared for sick.
She cared for sick people and she cared for prisoners very much, and people who were kind of any kind of difficulties. And what do you think is the secret of her?
I think is that she accepted everyone the way she was.
The way they were, without any. I think you put your finger on it, yeah. And because she just took people as they were, warts and all.
Do you think we'd be able to meet her sometime if she still was alive?
Well, that's an awkward one. That's a big question. I don't know what the answer to that is.
It has proven one thing to me, and that is that wherever a love story, and I think this is the attraction, this woman discovered at a very early age that God was mad about her, and she decided that she was going to love God in return the way that no other human being in the history of humankind ever loved him.
My name is Peter McGarry. I come from a small village, Kilnamanor, Frenchburg, County Roscommon. I was brought up a very good Catholic with a very good Catholic background. I left home very young, and through time I lost my faith completely. Like I had no idea to find God or anything, and she just led me to find God, and I just find that she's with me all the time, and I couldn't believe it. I said, she's coming here. And she's definitely, she said herself that she comes to people, and she proved it, you know. I just feel that she's leaving and I'm losing a good friend. Thanks very much for bringing all your efforts and everything.
We're delighted to be here.
Oh, it's great day for her.
You had a nice visit.
Absolutely beautiful. Great day for her. Thank you very much, Father. Thank you. You too.
It gets better every day. The crowds get bigger, as you can see yourself. Still fantastic crowds everywhere.
Father, we're full. Yeah. This is the Farmer's Journal, where they were in October last week, and they have the full coverage of it, full front page and feature inside on page 16. One man, it claims, had a cyst on his wrist and he was awaiting surgery in Kilkenny Hospital. He went to the Relics in October on Thursday. He got up on Friday morning and the cyst had vanished.
Thérèse is very important because she presents herself to God as a child, and in this she identifies her own spirituality, Teresa of the Child Jesus and of the Holy Face. This childlike simplicity, this total abandonment to God, she becomes the suffering love.
My name is Anne Joyce and I live here in Athlone in Coosan. And we were married for 13 years when I lost my husband. And we had 5 kids. Faith has a great part in me. You don't have to go to Mass, you don't have to go to confessions to have your faith. Through the years, my father now, he'd always call her St. Teresa, the little child Jesus. We never much knew her name was St. Thérèse. We always knew her as a child Jesus. And that she was over roses and stuff like that. But as years went on then, that we started to learn ourselves, and we got little booklets and little photographs of her. St. Thérèse became kind of a member of the family. I know that's where I get my courage and the strength from. Oh. This is Christy. Christy, say hello. This is a daily struggle. This is what we have to do every day. What I do then, I sit on top of the bed with him, and I put him there, and we give him his drink. Give me his drink, Amory. He was a year and 10 months when he contacted a meningitis, so he was normal and healthy up to that. So it changed our lives completely. It took a while to understand what was going on and everything. We got used to him, and now we wouldn't part Christy for the world. He's my strength, and I think he's my courage as well. You're my big fella, aren't you? Aren't you, Christy? And who are we going to see today? We're going to see St. Thérèse. And she knows what's going to happen. Yes. Because Christy is special. Where there's hope, there is life. And the day that you give up hope is you just lie down and you don't care what goes on around you. I have hope out there for Christy, and one way or the other, I know that it's all down to God and down to St. Thérèse for Christy.
Word without end. Amen. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit.
We're here now with St. Thérèse. She's asleep, aren't you, Christy?
When I was a child, I used to talk like a child, think like a child.
It's the one who won't be taken.
I think she's moving everybody. I think it's a wonderful thing that everybody, so many people has gathered there. It's just moving.
Reads bless.
And thanks very much for
You're
being
very
St.
welcome.
Thérèse home.
You're very welcome, very welcome.
We're the oldest Carmel in Ireland. We've been in Loughrea since about 1680.
How many of you are in the convent?
We're 12 actually in community, but we've one sister in a nursing home all the time. She's very, very ill, and we just couldn't cope with her. I have been here 56 years.
In Loughrea?
Same place.
And you're not tired of it?
Pardon?
You're not tired of it?
Oh, no, no way. I came in when I was 18.
It's our sister is coming. My sister is coming. So I mean, she's one of us. Yeah. She's been a saint. She's been like so well known. And she's not. But now she's one of us.
She's close to us. Oh, it's only 100 years, a little over 100 years, you know. And we all can remember our grandmothers and grandfathers, you know, so they would have remembered her as well. I mean, the whole country knows who she is now. I mean, they're all agog with St. Teresa.
We're just checking the oil on the St. Teresa van to make sure that the oil level is okay for the rest of the journey.
She wanted to be a missionary, she wanted to be a martyr, she wanted to do all the wonderful things that all the wonderful saints in the history of the church have done. Then she realized that the core of everything, the center of everything, was love. Love is what matters.
Bring happiness to people. That's the only worthwhile apostolate in life, making other people happy in the best sense of the word, happy in their relationship with God. Living out the Christian ideal cannot but be a comfort to a lot of people, because you love them, you'll help them, you'll put their interests first, people will feel very loved, and I think that's what a lot of us want. We like to feel that we're loved.
Okay, so just for a tighter version, just give me your overall assessment of the reception that the relics have received.
Well, I think the reception has been absolutely fantastic, and it has exceeded our most optimistic expectations.
Some wise people have said that it might actually be more popular than the papal visit. Do you think it's heading in that direction?
It is, because it's more extensively organised than the papal visit.
It's just going to come straight through here. Yeah. Do you want to take them out this way?
Yeah.
You want to take pictures of it?
Very brave of the organisers, and we are so proud that she is here, and we can really, really feel it in the prison.
I'm Leanne Dumbrell from Michigan, 22 years of age. I'm in Mount Jai prison for 3 years. There was all signs all around the prison saying St. Thérèse was coming. There's about 1 or 2 that go to Mass out of the whole prison. But that night, everyone went. Sitting there and you're supposed to be praying to an arm and a leg. So it was mad. And most of the girls having a laugh and a joke about our coffin being gold, bringing it into a prison like.
Okay.
Only when things get bad I pray. That's what I was saying to the priest when St. Teresa came. They were all praying up on our coffin and me and Father Cross went up and I says, I don't know what to say. He says, I don't know how to pray. He says, I'll help you. And we stood there and we prayed because I don't know how to pray, I don't know what to be saying.
First, to be honest, we were laughing and joking about it. But when we saw it, it really opened my eyes. I really didn't expect it. It was, the coffin was beautiful. And we went over at about 1:30, and it was very peaceful. It was beautiful. It felt like our spirit was with us. A man come up to me actually, and he said she was a wonderful woman, and he handed me a beautiful pair of rosary beads, and he put them on top of her coffin. He did, and when it was over, he handed them to me, and he said they will look after you and protect you. He said, and if you ever feel down at that, pray to her, because she's there and she'll listen to you.
I left a few leaves off roses on the coffin and I sent them out to my nanny. She has cancer. There's supposed to be healing power in them, or someone told me that.
Father,
yes?
Would it be permissible for us to just touch the casket with our rosary beads?
The reliquary will be accessible to everybody. The whole idea of bringing the reliquary would be that it would be people-centered.
Where are you keeping?
Grand.
Yeah, great day.
I very like Dick.
Yeah. You like your granddad? You'll be famous now.
Same class as I was.
But I would just want to ask Father Ryan, when the lady rang in about Thérèse having devotion to Our Lady, when she was very little, she was ill, and isn't it true to say that she was cured by Our Lady of the Smile?
That's right, yes.
So I just wanted to say that to the listeners, that Thérèse had a tremendous devotion to Our Lady.
I've been many places to greet her. I never cease to be astonished the way she moves the emotions. I've seen people cry everywhere just to be in the presence of those relics. How can bones do that to people?
You can feel her presence. She is here right now. And not, that's herself. Has a thing like this ever happened before? What is the secret of this so-called little flower?
Having waited so long in the queue, having looked into the eyes of those coming down to see Thérèse, and then the final encounter, I wished it was longer. I felt a great burst of joy, almost to the point of an emotional burst. And I can fairly well emphasize what's going on in the hearts and minds of people who come here from great distances with their roses, with their flowers, with their prayers and their families. If nothing else, just saying hello to Thérèse.
Let's just say, God bless you.
You're a hero.
Hello, Father. We do our best.
How are you?
Thanks for all the help.
Not at all.
We'll be getting along.
I think people wouldn't spend the night in church, just sitting there in the quiet and going home. As one woman said, she went home this morning, or the other morning, and she heard the dawn chorus, and she hadn't heard the birds in years. Apparently there's open an awareness to something beyond ourselves.
Servants of Love is a mixed community of men and women. We're Catholic and we live a monastic life. And we've been on the go now for about 30 years.
My help comes from him.
We try to uphold every tradition of the Catholic Church and live according to the Catholic teaching. Keep the commandments as best we can.
As though we weren't uttering wall or a tumbling fence.
The spirituality of the community stems from the teachings of Saint Thérèse to a large extent, as well as the other saints. But she in particular has had a big influence on our spirituality.
Lord, have mercy.
When you have the ideal, and as a community we have the ideal of becoming a saint, and there in that box are the bones of somebody who has made it, you know, has made it to the top.
It only took her 8 years
Yeah.
to become a saint.
Wow.
Which is just such a short time. I mean, she entered when she was 15 and she died when she was 24. It's just such a short time, isn't it?
I picked this time because I want to avoid the crowds and make it a more personal experience. Not so much a festive occasion, more mystical.
It's a very moving experience.
I just sort of felt sort of a light, happy feeling, and I thought maybe that's the spirit that she has, you know. Just puts things into perspective.
I hope some of her zeal and confidence in God rubs off. That'll be great. That'll be a great thing. Because she was dedicated, and I could do a little bit of that.
The interest is phenomenal. It can be tiring at times, but oh, what a pleasant tiredness. Who is Thérèse for? I would say everybody saying Thérèse, and that was reflected in the people who were in the lines, in the queues to visit her relics. There was a total cross-section of Irish society to be found in any queue.
It's just you know, a presence there that I won't forget for a long time.
I think the main thing is the peace and the tranquility of the whole experience.
A sense of peace, really sense of peace.
This has been good for people. It has brought Ireland closer to itself. This island of emails and brave new worlds and high tech, suddenly there was that old Ireland suddenly rearing its head, and rearing its head unashamedly.
You look like a bishop sitting there, huh? What's your job today now, are you?
I'm a holy water.
You're the holy water girl, are you? Are you excited?
We are in the army Curragh camp in Kildare, and we're awaiting the arrival of the Reddies. Just left Clarendon Street about half an hour ago. And I understand that there's a special army veneration service programme prepared.
It's a great occasion. Great occasion.
As you know, Thérèse had a special relationship with the army. Both her grandparents were army men. Thérèse herself became the patron or the patroness of many of the young soldiers, especially in the First World War. Many of them went into battle wearing a little medal or a picture of Thérèse.
I was anxious myself personally that there would be a very nice, orderly, dignified and colourful reception of the greatest saint of modern times into Ireland. And it was I initially who approached the army men.
Lieutenant General Colin Mangan, this is a great day for the army.
It is indeed. It's a day in which all those who want to take part are here to receive the relics of St. Thérèse, and we're all here in a personal capacity.
We bless you, Lord, for revealing the mysteries of the kingdom to mere children. As we welcome these relics of little Thérèse to the Garrison Church of the Defence Forces Training Centre, we give thanks to God who gives us such witness to guide us along the pilgrim way of life.
Okay, they want us to move the car back to here.
And go get him
put it in first, yeah. Kildare, the home of Irish monastics. The home of all the holy people.
This one is extra special. We're leaving the Curragh now. We're ready to go to our own hometown, Kildare, White Abbey. And we'll get some welcome in there.
We are setting up a steering committee to prepare for her coming.
But is there a lot of preparation going on in various parishes, is there?
Absolutely, yes. There's novenas.
It's a great privilege. Thanks for all the years you were working for Theresa's missions.
Now is this that
all those come in the great faith to have them, put the same faith that bless there.
He's gone.
That's
Yes,
my
and they will, and they
that's
will,
my
and they will.
prayer.
What's the point in knowing about horses?
And how much money did you make?
£50.
Was that a miracle, would you say?
It wouldn't have been a miracle, it was good looking.
You wouldn't describe it as
But I love the horses because as children we walked to the corridor. This is my native heath. I was born here.
And you played football?
And I played football for the Lily Whites.
Were you good?
Well, other people said I was good.
A modest man to the end. Are you enjoying the tour?
I am, and this of course is a very emotional moment to bring Thérèse back to the native soil.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news. The Ban Bridge in Codemeal will be closed until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is to facilitate the replacement.
Police in Oldham in Greater Manchester say large numbers of police will be deployed in the town this evening to prevent a repeat.
Quite legitimate activity by BNP, of course, for standing as a general election.
People all right and still religion somewhere.
I don't actually know what it is that you're going to say, do you? I don't know what it is we're going to say.
There's nothing political whatsoever about this. It's a demonstration, public demonstration of people's faith.
Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Pray for us sinners now, we are for them.
On the shoulders.
There's nothing whatsoever of the spectacle about the visit of St. Thérèse's relics. The atmosphere at all times is very prayerful and serene. There's a wonderful sense of the presence of God and an awareness among people of God's nearness to them. This is what this is all about.
So this is near the peace line?
Yeah, this, now there, see that's the... I know, you can stay here all day.
Every day.
See you later. Brilliant, okay. She wants to show some of the bullet holes.
Because it came through like that.
Came through her window, okay. And so those there...
Came through my son's bedroom window and ricocheted around the house and tore the blankets off my daughter's bed. But right up the last week we couldn't hit our petrol bombs and everything. You know, it's been bad.
Yeah.
So we're there and I've experienced 16 gun attacks in the house. Petrol bombs, bricks, bottles, stones. I've lay on the floor for about 3 hours, 3 gun attacks when I was pregnant. And well, when I heard the relics was coming, I was so happy that the saint was coming to the parish. Well, when I walked in, I was sort of, I felt I was at the gate of heaven, you know, because it was just something I'd never experienced before. Like, you pray to the saints, but to actually be in the presence of one, like, was like touching a bit of heaven.
Andy, Father Ryan, he's he's the national coordinator.
The other one is Tony.
Tony, that's good.
Okay.
Lovely. Oh, so this is terrific.
All right.
You made a unique stop today
As the Tour of Ireland draws to a close, the relics were flown by helicopter to the pilgrimage island of Lough Derg in County Donegal.
It was a dramatic arrival to this quiet place of prayer.
Father Eugene, what was it like for you? The first man I ever met who flew with the saint.
They tell me it's the first time that Thérèse ever travelled in the helicopter, but certainly was my first time, and it was a marvellous experience. I was sitting on the ground with right beside the casket and my hand on the casket the whole way up, and it was lovely. Lough Derg was officially to be the last stop on our 74-day pilgrimage, but we have a few days extra, but coming here is certainly the climax of a pilgrimage of grace.
I'm here recording Fortishtark, and I'm following the relics. This is the 15th week, and I'm probably the most tired person around, I suspect. But it certainly is different. It's different anywhere else. And it's the most suitable place, I think, for the saint to be. This is the oldest pilgrim site in Ireland, and it's extraordinary to see the people in their bare feet, and they look at you and say, "Are you not a pilgrim?" And you say, "Well, I've been around for 15 weeks. Not on your bare feet, though." I say, "No." But so there you are. You do the best you can, and you hope for the best.
Could I ask you just to move over this way? Who is coming from this side?
Testing. It's late afternoon now outside the Basilica, and the rain has sort of ceased for a minute. And we're looking out at the grey waters. Do you know she would have been very much at home here, wouldn't she?
I think she'd be very much at home here because there's a great simplicity here. It's a place of prayer. What I thought as I was coming in the helicopter, we've called this visit of Thérèse a pilgrimage of grace. And this is a place of grace and a place of pilgrimage. And there's a great simplicity about Thérèse and a great simplicity about the sort of prayer that takes place here in the great Celtic and Irish tradition. I think she'd be very much at home and would have loved it.
Well, this is a painting of my mum, and it's not the Queen, but it was painted on television. My mum was the first woman on Irish television with her own programme. Back in the 60s, it was called Invitation, and it was a chat show. Her last 5 months were particularly dreadful, and she was being as brave as ever, but eventually the cancer got the better of her. The day of her funeral, it was a very sunny day, and I would say roughly 100 people came back to our apartment for food and drinks and the usual. But I was in my mum's room for several minutes, and my father came in and he said, "Kathy, come into the sitting room." He said, "Something wonderful is happening in there." So I followed him in, and the first thing that I noticed, and couldn't help but notice, was the overwhelming smell of roses in the sitting room. But there wasn't one flower to be seen. And as time went by, the smell of roses seemed to permeate throughout the entire apartment. And some people were disturbed by it. My boss at the time put his drink down and said he had to leave. He didn't know what was happening, and it was scaring him. It's difficult to explain. I think the best way I can describe it is to say it was like getting a postcard or a telegram. It was a very real experience. It did happen, there's no doubt about that. And so I suppose I feel, or I like to feel, that Thérèse is looking after Mum out there somewhere.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm very content to walk among the people and to have the same experience, to approach the relics myself in the midst of my people in the 5 venues, and we'll have to wait and assess. That's going to be a very difficult and very important task, to assess what effect, if any, it has on the people.
Tomorrow, the relics of St. Thérèse leave for France. During their time in Ireland, they've been in every diocese in the country. This afternoon, there was a farewell Thanksgiving celebration in the GAA grounds in Wexford.
There's a great sense of joy and happiness at long last now that we're nearly ready to kick off. And everyone is getting their little pieces done, and the bards are here ready to rehearse, and the tenors are here, and we hope at this stage everything is in place.
How are you? This is Lady. She's starting small. How are you doing?
This is actually better than the visit of the relics of St. Thérèse at Lisieux.
This is good. You're lovely, Sabine.
Ah,
now you're in heaven.
Oh, I've died and gone up there already.
Stand like so.
Deal of my life has been spent in the promotion of the doctrine and teaching of St. Thérèse. Looking back on the whole project now, it is a dream fulfilled. Many of us, I'm sure, have none of our dreams fulfilled. I was lucky on this one. We could never have foreseen how successful it was going to be. I would say it has brought our people closer to God. It has made many people recommit themselves to the Christian life, particularly through their commitment to the sacrament of penance. There were lots and lots of people who have been years away from the sacrament and who, under the influence of God's grace through Thérèse, have been reconciled to this wonderful sacrament of God's mercy. So I haven't the slightest doubt that both God and St. Thérèse were working very, very powerfully. And these memories are very, very consoling to me. Thérèse is home. Thérèse, we can't begrudge it to her, but she'll always be with us in spirit. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Sainte Thérèse de l'Enfant Jésus,
pray for us.
Et le père Ryan m'a dit que 75% de la population s'était déplacée, soit 3 millions d'Irlandais. Fantastique.
75% of the population had been present to venerate the relics.
3 million.
3 million people.
It's what Karen can say. C'est ça?
We've come to the end of a marvellous tour that has exceeded our most optimistic expectations. We could never have envisaged anything like this. And I can only say, be humbled before the Lord. I feel that nobody could have moved 3 million of our people in the way it has, except it was a supernatural thing. And no matter what organisation we did, and a lot of people have put a lot of hard work into making this a success, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was good God himself that touched the hearts of people. 3 million people on the move just couldn't be affected by any human institution. And we go back through our history. It's been the greatest mass movement of our people in its entire history. So we're living through heady days, historical days, but we have to be very humble by this experience and realise that God is close to us and we can be close to God through the example of St. Thérèse.
part about English of St. Thérèse that I got it, the nuns in Tallow got it years and years ago. And one of them gave me a present of some of it some years ago. And this is what remains of it. You can see the curl in it there. Yeah. That.
That's amazing.
Don't forget to return with relic.
Very important, yes. So now.
It's not a gift.
Not a gift, right? I remember that.